Hey y'all. Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all. Let me share this out. Now y'all got on to me about this live and ain't nobody here. So let me share this out. I am gonna wait for a few people. That's funny because it's not showing me. Oh, now it's coming through. I can't see y'all. Well, that may be for the best. That may be for the best. So, yeah. All right. Good evening, y'all. Welcome to. Can y'all hear me? Let me first say that. Let me make sure y'all can hear me. If you are on Facebook, can you drop some green hearts? If you are on, y'all gotta excuse me. If you cannot tell, yeah, I am shaking. Whew. If this is your first time tuning in, I promise you I am normally not like this. I promise you I am normally not like this. But if y'all could just put in the chat where you're watching from, where you're tuning in from, if y'all could share it out for me, I would greatly appreciate it. And we're gonna get started in just a second. Facebook, can y'all hear me? I just want to make sure everybody can hear me before I start. And I'm gonna start. Y'all, I don't know. I already know I'm not gonna get through this without crying. So if y'all could just bear with me. Hey Ash, oh you in Powder Springs, girl? I'm gonna be up that way in a couple of weeks. Okay, we got New York in the building, we got South Carolina, we got Georgia. I know we got North Carolina on, we got Texas on. Hey Mocha. So this is the finale of Unlearning Love, the truth about love no one prepared us for. Oh, we got the Nassau Bahamas. Oh, we got the Bahamas on tonight. Okay, y'all, let me get it together. And I know y'all probably like, what is this girl crying for? Y'all, excuse me, I'm so sorry. Oh, Sacramento, California. Hey, welcome on. I promise you, if this is your first time tuning in to my podcast, it normally does not start in tears. But this particular episode is going to be very personal and it's going to be very near and dear to my heart. So, week 4. Week 4. Unlearning love. The truth about love no one prepared us for. And this week is entitled What No One Tells You About Waiting. So in order to tell this testimony, I have to take it back over a few years. So travel with me back in time for just a few moments. I promise you the meat of the message is really like 5 seconds. But just travel with me back in time for a little bit, guys. All right, so in 2016, I moved to Atlanta. If you don't know, I was born in South Carolina. I was raised in a small city called Albany, Georgia. And the Lord, what y'all are seeing is like obedience, like for real. But I've been hearing God for a long time. And so in 2016, I moved to McDonough, Georgia. September 2016 to be exact. I'm going to fast forward. Um, then in 2017, after having abstained for a long while, I got pregnant and gave birth to my youngest baby. Y'all know him as Mr. Dylan. So I gave birth to Dylan in November of 2017. That was not why I was supposed to move to Atlanta, but hey, things happen. When you step out of the line of the will of God, things happen. And while my son is not a mistake, he is the reality of a decision I made because I was tired of waiting. All right, so let's fast forward. In 2018, me and Dylan's father went our separate ways. There is nothing wrong with him. He was just not the person I was supposed to be with. Okay, he's an amazing man. We co-parent like chef's kiss. 2019, from the moment me and Dylan's father separated until when I met I'm not okay, y'all. Let me just say this. I'm not saying no names, y'all. I gotta be very careful with even this is my testimony, this is my truth, but I just gotta lay it out for y'all. So from 2018 until roughly around July of 2019, I was very single. I was not entertaining anybody. I was like really single. I was trying to find Mercedes. I had just had another baby and I was trying to find me. Excuse me. And so now I'm catching y'all up to when I met the man that I'm going to be discussing on tonight that I walked away from. In the course of the time of me moving to McDonough from 2016 until 2018, I had originally moved up there, and when I first moved up there, I lived with my aunt. When me and Dylan's father got together, I moved in with him, or we got a place together, I should say, because we were both staying in different areas, and then we got a place together once we found out I was pregnant. So after we decided to go our separate ways, I went and I moved back with my aunt, with me and my two children, because I had just had Dylan. And I had got brought Jeremiah up here, to Atlanta. And so we were staying with my aunt. Well, my aunt was getting ready to move, and that's when I got my own place. And I was still in McDonough because I love the area, love the school system, yada, yada, yada. Mind you, again, I had been living in McDonough since 2016 because I'm trying to paint this picture for y'all. So the Kroger that I frequented from 2016 to 2019, the person that I began to date and the person who courted me had been working at that Kroger, and I had never seen him. So let's jump to July of 2019. July of 2019, I see him looking at me. I noticed him for the first time. Didn't say nothing to him. He was a handsome young man. He was the manager of the meat and seafood department at the Kroger. Again, I frequent that Kroger all the time, and I had never seen him in those 3 years. So we would catch each other's eye, and whatever. So one day, I'll never forget, I was leaving the gym and I went to stop by the Kroger to get something like a light snack for the boys because I hadn't prepared dinner yet. And I was going to get those little mini pizzas, and I don't know if he saw me because I didn't even go back to where the meat and seafood department was. I literally was just going in there to get a frozen pizza and to come out. So I go in, and he finds his way on the frozen food aisle, and me and my friends joke about this all the time. Like, ladies, might you like just be careful about what you wear because you never know, you might meet your man on the meat aisle at the grocery store. And so that's literally what happened to me. I was walking down the aisle, and he literally walked up to me. He said, "Hi." He said, "I don't want you to think I'm weird." He said, "But I just want to tell you that I love your hair." Now, at the time, I don't know if y'all saw this, but there was a method to my madness with the picture that I posted, because this is what my hair, oh Lord. This is the color my hair was. My hair was that orange color when we initially met. And so orange just so happened to be his favorite color. So he told me he loved my hair. He told me he just wanted to introduce himself. Now, back then, y'all, I used to wear my purity ring on my left hand. I don't remember if I had the ring on this particular day, but all I know is he told me his name. I told him my name. We shook hands. I told him thank you for the compliment, and I went on my way. All right, that was in July. So let's fast forward to September. Um, well, let me back up. So in August, I noticed that he wasn't like speaking to me anymore, because at this point, like after the introduction in July, we kind of like would nod at each other, speak to each other when we see each other in passing. So in September, I noticed that like he was kind of like not speaking to me, and I'm like, So finally, I walked up to him and I said, "Hey, um, no, did I ask him for? I can't remember. I remember the Lord like nudging me to go say something to him. So I don't remember exactly what I asked him, but I remember just kind of like saying, "Hey, I don't know what happened." And so what happened was, whatever the last encounter we had, I had my purity ring on. And if you've known me for any amount of time, my purity rings look like actual wedding rings. I did not play about like my abstinence journey. I still don't play about my abstinence journey. And so he thought I was married. That is why he backed off, because he saw my ring on and thought I was married. So that was the first green flag, because, oh, you didn't continue to try to pursue. You backed off when you thought I was married. So, okay. So, okay, green flag. So that particular day, I let him know I indeed was not married. And that was the first day that we exchanged numbers. So that was September. Okay, so September, I don't remember like exactly when, but I know it was in September. We exchanged numbers, and so we began to talk on the phone. I did not know what it was, but I was not about to just like be talking to somebody, just be talking to somebody. At the time, I was semi-aware of my purpose, but really didn't understand my purpose for real, for real. My birthday was in October. He wound up taking me out for my birthday. And then, no, before my birthday. No, was it before or after my birthday? Y'all, I'm sorry. I'm trying to get the timelines, because you have to understand it for it to make sense. Whenever it was, I know he took me out for my birthday. So then I started to really, because we used to be on the phone all the time. Like, I was actually working in Sandy Springs. I lived in McDonough. I worked in Sandy Springs, so y'all know that is a commute. So he would be on the phone with me in the morning times. He would be on the phone with me like when I'm leaving work, because in the mornings I would get to work a little bit quicker because it wasn't so much traffic. But in the evening, I was in traffic for a good 2 hours. I would get out of work at 4:30. I wouldn't get home until like 6:30, right? So I'm trying to hurry up and get to the meat of it, y'all. So I just remember in October really setting the precedence of like, because mind you, we're just talking. We're not intentional yet. We're just talking. So finally, I let him know that I'm getting ready to go on a fast. And he was like, "I want to fast with you." And I said, "Okay, cool." At this particular time, my reason for the fast was to just see if he was supposed to be in my life and what capacity was he supposed to be in my life. I wasn't asking God, was he my husband? I literally just wanted to know, like, why are you here? So he went on the fast with me. We did the fast. I think that first fast was like a 5-day fast. He told me later on that it was that particular fast that the Lord showed him that I was his wife. But again, I was just trying to see God, like, God, who is this man? Why is he here? The Lord did reveal to me, not that he was my husband, but that he was a safe space and that I could continue on getting to know him. Fast forward to November, we fast again. This time it is intentional. We are fasting to see if we are going to be in a relationship, not marriage, a relationship. This particular fast was a 7-day fast, and we could not talk to each other. We could not see each other the entire 7 days. And I don't know if Vanessa is on, but I remember the last day of the fast, I was crying my eyes out because I had done good the entire 7 days, y'all. The last day, I ended up going to the grocery store and I saw him. Now I could have went to another grocery store, but I decided to go on. I decided to, and I really thought I had messed it up. I thought God was gonna be like, nope, because you was disobedient. So the day after the last day of the fast, he reached out to me. He called me and he said, I want to talk about, what the Lord revealed to me on the fast and certain things, y'all, I'm just not going to share because it was the sanctity of what we were doing between us and God. But he did ask me to be his girlfriend. So maybe a week or so later, he asked if I wanted to meet his parents. So we ended up going on a date, and I met his parents. His mother absolutely loved me. And this is where I'm going to put a pin in it for a second. And I'm going to give y'all some understanding about what was one of the issues that caused me to walk away. Now, during the time that I was fasting, during the time that I was fasting, the Lord had showed me some like resistance. Like he was being open and honest with me, but it was some resistance and I didn't understand what it was. So finally the Lord showed me that there was and Lord, give me the right word to say, there was a unhealthy soul tie that he had with his father. And let me just tell y'all what happened. So I get to the restaurant. I walk in the restaurant. Unbeknownst to me, he had showed his father a picture of me. And the picture of me was me with my colorful hair and probably with makeup on. So when I walk in the restaurant, his father stands up, his father looks at me, and his father immediately apologizes to me. Like, I don't know, y'all can answer this in the chat for me. How weirded out would you have been if you're meeting your significant other's parents for the first time and one of their parents immediately starts apologizing to you when they first meet you? That's kind of weird. So I'm taken aback because I'm like, okay. And he was like, no, I'm sorry. I prejudged you. He said, when you walked in the room, I literally saw the glory of God. I see the anointing on you. So I'm like, okay. What I did not know is basically he had told his son that he really wasn't sure if I was it because of my outer appearance. And G knew better than not to tell me that his daddy said that because I'm one of them ones. Because he knew better. He told me after the fact, but he knew better not to tell me before the fact. So, dinner went well. It was amazing. It started off just something like that was weird, but it began to be like, okay, like his mom absolutely adored me, his sister adored me, his niece and his nephew loved me, the boys loved him. Him and my, Dylan's father met. He was okay with him because he loved the way that Dylan loved him. And so it was one of those things where it was like one of those dreams come true. Like it was like, this is good, too good to be true. Like everybody getting along. My parents loved him. It was amazing. And so we move on into like just the relationship. So again, that's 2009, no, 2018. So at the end of 2019, the Lord upgraded me from the apartment I was living in into a nicer apartment in the same apartment complex. And y'all, when I tell you, this man and the people who went to All Nations and the people who always was at my house can tell you, baby, when I tell you that man moved heaven and earth for me, like that man made sure that I was good. Even, I mean, with the help of my brothers in Christ. But when it was time for the leasing office to come through and inspect the old apartment, they literally was like, girl, this apartment is literally move in ready. Like he cleaned it. He made sure the refrigerator was clean. He made sure the bathroom, like he did his big one. That's why I can never say nothing ill about him, because he was just one of them ones. And so we got ready to move me into my new apartment. I did not move into my new apartment because it was like a little gap. So I moved out of my old apartment. I want to say it was like a December. I don't know if Paris on. I'm trying to remember, but I want to say it was like December. And then it was like a little lapse into me moving into my new apartment. But as soon as I moved, matter of fact, yes, because it was at the watch night service. Okay, so I moved into my new apartment at the top of 2020. New apartment, new job. My car goes out. My car goes out. Again, if you know me, anybody that's on here that knows me knows that I do not like to ask for help. I will try to figure it out on my own. Well, when he realized that my car was messed up, because actually my car broke down on me leaving one of my friends at the time house. She lived in, I think, Powder Springs. I don't know, Dree, where was she living at the time? Wherever. We had went to her house at the watch night service, and my car stopped on me. If you know anything about Atlanta, my car stopped on me around Cleveland Avenue. And if you know anything about Atlanta, baby, you know that you don't want to get stuck on Cleveland Avenue. So I was able to get my car into a parking lot that had like a lot of lights, and he made sure I got home safely. The very next day, he ensured that we got a tow truck to go to get my car, and we took the car to a mechanic that he knew. And so the mechanic was in McDonald. So after the mechanic figured out what was going on, when they told me the amount, like I honestly didn't have it, because just moved into a new apartment, just started a new job. So it was little, a little gap in between finances. Well, his father let the trustees of his church know, because his father has a church. His father is an apostle. His father let the people at the church know what was going on, and they paid for me to get my car fixed. I did not ask them; they sold it. I want y'all to put a pin in that. I never asked. They volunteered. He volunteered. So that is the top of 2020. All right. So we all know that in March, the vid happened, and my babies went to Albany because I was still working. But they was out of school, so my mom was like, "Hey, let the boys come down here, whatever, whatever." So the boys came to Albany. We continued to date, we continued to court, all of that good stuff. Mind you, we became official in November. I remember telling Dree one day, hey, we about to go to the Tanger outlet because I want to get me some shoes. Because back then, like, we was walking, we was doing like on a little health kit. I was on keto, all the things. And we went to. I'm fast forwarding, y'all. We in July of 2020. um. So, well, okay, Lord. All right, hold on, y'all, because the Lord's telling me I gotta tell certain things, and I'm trying to fast forward past certain stuff because I just know it's a lot. But anyway, so between March and July, some things happened, and it was one of those things where I was beginning to get irritated as a grown woman who had my own place. His father would tell him things like he would kind of dictate like what we did when we went on dates. He would dictate how late um, we would be out. He had kind of told him that we needed to only see each other in the daytime. We didn't need to see each other at night. At one point in the relationship, he told him that he did not need to be on the phone with me after 9. No, no, no. He said 10 p.m. My bad, y'all. It's 10 p.m. He didn't. He had told him that after a certain time at night, like, we didn't need to be on the phone. And I'll never forget one night we had went to go see my friend Paris, and y'all know Paris. She was on the first episode of this season. And we was at Paris' house, and we was having an amazing time, laughing, joking, hooting and hollering as we do. And the time had got kind of away from us, but we're grown. We're in our 30s, and he got to calling. The father got to calling, got to texting, like, y'all need to make your way on back to the house. Y'all, I can laugh at it now, but I'm telling y'all. So, I'm sorry. Yeah, he was 35 and I was 33. And so, yeah. So, you know, I try not to. What I try not to buck up against it, just being that um I love this man. I love this man. And yeah, that's the unhealthy. Yeah. So those were little things that I noticed, but I just kind of, whatever. So let me go to July. So in July, we go to Tanger Outlet to go get me some sneakers. Trust me, Shane. We gotta get me some sneakers, and if you ever been to the Tanger Outlet in is that Lovejoy? What's it called, y'all? Lovejoy, some wherever the Tanger Outlet is. There's a Nike, like there's a huge Nike store, but right next to the Nike store is either a Zales or a K. I can't remember if it's Zales. I don't know, remember which ring store it is, but so this is July. Okay, come on, let's count. November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July. So that's 8 months. Locust Grove, that's what it's called, Locust Grove. So we go to the Tanger Outlet for me some sneakers because I had been walking and I wanted to continue to have, you know. And so we get to the Tanger outlet, and he says, "Oh, it's a ring shop. Let's go ahead and go in here and get your ring sized, your finger sized." And so I was like, all right, cool. Because, I mean, at this point, y'all, we had talked about marriage. Like, marriage was already on the table. We had had some discussions. Um, I don't know if at the time he had already been in communication with Vanessa. Vanessa can confirm or deny. I don't know if he had already been in communication with her, because he was pretty much like getting his information from her about how to propose. And he was pat like letting her know the ideas he had of how he wanted me to propose, how he wanted to propose to me. And of course, with her being my best friend and the person that knew me, okay, no, like, just knowing what I like and what I don't like, she was the person he needed to talk to, because some of that stuff he wanted to do, and of course she didn't tell me at the time. She told me after we broke up. But some of that stuff he wanted to do, she was like, "That's a hard no." So we go into the ring shop, and we get my finger size. Now at the time I was doing makeup, and I was doing makeup a lot, and he wanted me to have like a really, really big ring. And I was like, I don't want no big ring. Like, I work with my hands. I'm at these different sets. I'm always going, like, I don't want a big ring. And for him, he kept saying like, "Oh no, like, these N words gonna know. These ninjas gonna know that you are loved and you are well taken care of. Like, I want them to see it before they can even get up to you." Like, that's just how he was, y'all. And so we started to try on some rings. Again, this was not in the plans, y'all. And I'm saying this, and I'm telling y'all this, especially for some ladies. Like, even though this did not end with me going to the altar, it does not take a man long to know. And for him, he knew the first time we fasted together. But so we go in there, and this one particular ring that they put on my finger, when they put on my finger, I don't know what my face did. All I know is he was like, "That is it. That's the ring. We get in this ring." And there was another couple in the store, and I'll never forget this. I will never forget this. There was another couple in the store, and the lady was like, "Well, you already know what your ring looks like. Like, you don't want it to be a surprise." And he kind of told them, he was like, "Well, we're doing it unconventional. Like, I would rather know that the ring, like, the proposal is gonna be a surprise, but the ring, like, I want her to know, like, this is, like, I want to know that this is what she likes, this is what she desires. Like, I'm not gonna give her something that she don't like." And while I know her enough to, but I like, and I mean, y'all know I ain't traditional by no sense of the word in certain aspects. So I was just like, "All right, whatever." So he was like, matter of fact, he gave me his card. He was like, go to the store and pick out he was like, go to, I love you too. Go to the store and pick out your shoes. And I was like, "Well, the reason for us coming to get the shoes is because I need you to help me pick out the shoes." And so he was like, "Okay." So we leave out of the store. We go into the store. He helps me pick out my shoes. He was like, "Here, go and pay for the shoes." So at this point, I'm like, "Huh?" He was like, "No, I need to go give this lady some information." So he goes back into the ring store. And as I'm going back into the store after I get the shoes, because of where we parked, I had put the shoes in the trunk, and I was walking back into the store. And I see him, like, the lady is handing him back his license, but she's also getting the last four digits of his social security number. So I'm like, excuse me, I'm like, what is going on? So he was like, "Oh, nothing." Um, he was like, "Just, go look around." So me, I go and I started looking at the male rings because I'm like, well, since he ain't here looking for an engagement for a ring for me, let me just look at the bands. Like, let me see what kind of bands, would complement that ring if he decides to get that ring. Unbeknownst to me, he was in there buying the ring. He bought the ring that day. And so we got the ring that day. I get in the car, baby, and I'm calling everybody. I didn't call my mama. I didn't call Vanessa. I didn't call Paris. Baby, I'm calling everybody. I didn't call like I am calling everybody, honey, because if y'all had seen that big boulder, baby, it was so cute. And so we had to keep the ring. I had to keep the ring. And here's another red flag when we look back on it. I had to keep my ring until we took it back for me to get it sized for my finger. He couldn't take the ring home with him because he was nervous that his father would find it. But he told me that when he saw the look on my face, he literally heard the Lord tell him like to go ahead and get the ring. So I'm just letting y'all see the build up. I'm letting y'all see the build up because I had to have the ring on me in my room. I don't even remember. I think I showed it. I don't know if I showed it to Dree, but like I literally had to hide the ring in my drawer. So I think we had to wait 2 weeks because he had to do something. We had to wait for something. We took the ring back for them to for them to get it sized for my finger. And when we got it back, I still had to hold I had to hold onto my ring because he did not want his father to find it. So that was in July. We're gonna skip up to October. My birthday is in October, so now this is the second birthday that we've spent together. Um, I wound up doing some little cutesy things. His sister was a part of it. We wound up having a good time. And right after my birthday, he he basically was telling me like, we need to do this. And I'm like, we need to do what? And it was like this strong urgency to get married. And like I felt it too, but it was just like I because of COVID, y'all, I don't know if I can say that word, because of the vid, I just didn't know if I wanted a wedding, like I wanted a big wedding, but I was okay with like us just getting married. So what we had decided to do is we had said that we were going to get married on December 5th, 2020. We were gonna have something really, really small. We was actually just gonna get married in my apartment because how my apartment was set up, I had a really nice sunroom. Mind you, y'all, this is right after my birthday. So December is you got October. My birthday October 23rd. You ain't got long between the conversation we had until December. So I guess finally he had the conversation with his parents or whatever, and that is when his father manifested, y'all. That man manifested, baby. Like he was just like, no, I don't think she's it. If y'all get married, y'all marriage is just gonna end in doom and gloom. Now his mother, she wanted us to get married, but she wanted me to have a nice wedding. Her thing was like, I don't want y'all to rush and just do something because I really want, like, you deserve to be celebrated. You deserve all of the things or whatever. So I was like, all right. So I was kind of like cool. I was cool with it. I pushed back at first, but then I was like, okay, if this means I get to spend forever with you, then fine. We won't get married in December. We'll just wait until the little whatever the laws or whatever the stuff that was like in place that large gatherings couldn't happen. All right, we'll just let that lift. And so I continued on like with my business, and we started looking for houses. Something happened in his job in December to where they transferred him to a store in Dallas, Georgia. If you don't know, Dallas is Dallas close to Paris Springs? I want to say it is. Or was that Hiram? Y'all, I'm sorry, y'all. Mama, I'm trying to remember. All I know is I remember we went looking for houses. We had a realtor, and we went looking for houses, and we found a house that we absolutely loved, and we were getting ready to get it. Um, I'm trying to think if there's anything else the Lord wants me to share before I get to the like me walking away part. Oh, one day he came to my house, and if you don't know, I went to All Nations Atlanta, and I was a deliverance minister. I was on a prophetic team, and mostly everybody I hung with was either a deliverance minister or operates in the prophetic. And one night he came to the house, and it wasn't like we always had church, y'all. Like we always, like y'all know, I'm super churchy, so like we always would start out having fun, and then like the move of God would happen. And so we wound up doing deliverance on him. My friends, yeah, we wound up doing deliverance on him. Um, okay, so yeah, we had found a house in Hiram, but he was gonna be working in Dallas, and so we it was me, another friend that I'm no longer in connection with. I forgot who else was there, but we wound up doing deliverance on him outside of my apartment. And every time there was a level of healing and deliverance, I could feel the soul tie breaking, and his father would come even harder about some stuff. Like his father would find any excuse as to you don't need to be going over there like that. You don't need to be da 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 da. You don't need da 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 da. And let me explain something to y'all. The funny thing is, okay, Holy Spirit. The thing is, y'all, his father didn't want him coming to my house late at night and different things of that nature because I had two children. But what his father did not know is that when we met, I was already abstaining. His son was out here cracking them like crab legs. And so you looking at me because of like, yeah, my sins were put on the roof because I had children. So my fornication was public. But what you don't know is he walked into this with me already abstaining. But you're making it seem like, oh, if you go over there, if you be around her, she's gonna lead you into, no, baby, he was already doing what he was doing. Again, we made it official in November. The last time he had whatever was in August. So you trying to make it seem like I was gonna lead him into temptation. No, baby, he almost led me into temptation. And so and let me tell you this, ladies, and I'm gonna say this as real as I know how. If you can, I'm not telling you that somebody who's not already abstaining can't, but if you can, find somebody who already abstaining. Because the thing is, I don't necessarily feel like he abstained for me. I feel like my lifestyle and my standard convicted him to abstain. Not that he necessarily did it for me, but there was a standard. Oh, okay. I did not want to tell this, but the Lord is telling me to share it. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Again, remember, y'all, his father kept saying that he did not want him over my house late at night because of the, I guess, thinking that sex would happen. I'm about to tell y'all about a situation. One day he came to my house. I don't remember when, y'all, so I can't even tell you the timeline. But he came to the house. I don't think Drew was there. Um, no, because I told her about it when she came home later that night. So, um, we were in my room there. Like, y'all, we kissed, we hugged. I ain't one of them people who be like, oh, I can't kiss until my wedding, da da da. I know my limitations. And so like we hugged, we kissed, we were very affectionate. Because his love language was physical touch. So all of things not in a compromising sense. Like it never got to where this particular incident happened. And so we were laying down watching a movie. We were watching something on TV, and I'm telling y'all my truth. This is just my truth. You can believe it and you cannot believe it, but this is just my truth. And so I don't know how we got to the point where we were both in my bed in the middle of the day with no clothes on. But we were both in my bed in the middle of the day with no clothes on. And he would and I'm just I do not want to share this, but I am going to be obedient. I was laying on my back because I was probably ovulating or something, and he was about to. He did not. He was about to. And I bust out crying. I'm talking about boo hoo crying to the point where this man jumps up, wraps himself in my comforter, and was like, what's wrong? And so I get the sheet, I'm covering up, I feel disgusted, I feel yucky, I feel I'm talking about conviction hit me like a ton of bricks, baby. Because you got to understand, this was the first relationship that I ever had been in where it was not predicated on good sex. I need y'all to hear me. Out of my, at the time, 33 years of life, that was the first relationship where we were not being with each other. We were not in love with each other. We were not wanting to have a future with each other just because the sex was good. I need y'all to hear me. So conviction hit me like a ton of bricks. Baby, I don't know where my phone was, but all I know is I had one person I could call. And I called Shakria Thomas so fast. If she in the comments, I call Kay so fast. And I confessed myself. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. Marsha Reese laughs at me. And not in a degrading way, but she laughs at me because anytime I think I've done something wrong, I am so quick to tell her, listen, I did da 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 da. And she be like, girl, that ain't even nothing for you to have to repent for. But there is just this, when conviction hits me, I can't like hide it. So I called my accountability partner and I told her what happened. And she told us, all right, y'all got to set some different boundaries. If you want this to work, and if you don't want, because next time conviction may not hit like that. Next time you may not be able to stop it. Next time the Lord may remove his hand from the conviction setting in how it set in. But here his father was telling him, no, you can't be at her house late at night. And baby, that was in the middle of the day. But it was because I had 2 children. And he didn't know my walk with God was for real, for real. And so that's why I say, get you somebody that is already abstaining. Because see, I had a weak moment, but I had been let me see. So at that point, I had been 2 years in the game of abstaining. He only had been a few months in the game abstaining. Who you think was gonna hold who up? So if the person that is the strongest is having a weak moment, do you think that the weaker vessel is going to take on strength so that we both ain't out here dibbling and dabbling, hooting and hollering? Huh? So yeah, so I thank God nothing happened, but like that thing was heavy, and so we had to start putting boundaries in place. We still watch movies together, but we was in the living room. Um, Outside of him coming to like check on me, we were rarely in my room like that for a good little minute. Now, towards the end of the relationship, when we had decided that we was moving forward with marriage, he would come in, um, and we would, but my door like would be open and different things. Like we would just do what needed to be done. And so yeah, Kay was a godsend. She really really helped me. Um, she really really helped me with that relationship. But so let's fast forward back to the end of 2020, and we decide that we're going to wait. And but he's still messaging my best friend, trying to figure out like what I like and what I don't like and all of the things. And so at this point, I am taking content creation and my makeup content super serious. And I had applied for a PR. I wanted to do PR for this makeup brand. And I wound up submitting my application, doing all of the things. And on January 2nd, 2021, I got accepted to do PR, my first big PR for a makeup brand. And I called him. I'm so excited. I'm letting everybody know I got picked, I got chosen, and I needed something. I forgot what I needed. Excuse me, I needed something. And so we went to Home Depot to get whatever it is that I needed. And we were going to Walmart to pick something up. And the Holy Spirit like fell on me in the car. And I remember turning, and I remember because he was driving, and I remember saying, G. G is not his name, but I'm not going to say his name. I said, do you believe that the Lord told you that I'm your wife? Y'all, I don't know why I asked him that. I cannot tell you why I asked him that. Um, and so we're driving, we're passing the entrance of Walmart, and we're getting ready to park. And he tells me yes, he believes that the Lord told him that I'm his wife and that we are supposed to be married. And then he says, but I trust the words of my father more. Yes, I believe the Lord told me you are my wife, but I trust the words of my natural father more. That is what that man told me in that car. Mind you, his father told him if we got married too soon, that our marriage would end with doom and gloom. And I looked at him. Mind you, we were on our way to dinner so we could celebrate me getting my PR, my first big PR affiliate program. I looked at him and with every fiber of my being, I decided to choose me. There is no way that I could ever marry a man that would listen to a mere mortal more than he listens to his heavenly Father. And so I asked him to get out of my car. I got in the driver's seat and I drove away. January 2nd, 2021. For the first time in my life, I chose me. For the first time in my life, I was not going to be with somebody who could not lead. Because mind you, remember I was telling y'all, everything that his father would suggest, he would do it. And I remember stating like, dang, am I marrying you or your daddy? Um, and I drove away and I did not look back. I did not look back. So it has been 5 years. It has been 5 years. And I do not question if I made the right decision. I know that some people would say, well, Mercedes, if he was so amazing, if he did all these amazing things, like, why you just couldn't wait? It wasn't about waiting. It was knowing that if I had chose him, I would have chosen somebody that did not listen to God. And if you do not listen to God as a prophet, I know you won't listen to me in the instance when the Lord would give me things to say concerning our household. And so no one tells you that sometimes during the wait you'll feel humiliated. No one tells you that during the wait that you'll feel overlooked. No one tells you during the wait that you feel like you won't even ever be chosen again. But I am just here to say, as someone who has waited and has been waiting well, there is so much more on the other side of obedience. There is so much more on the other side of obedience. Had I married G, I don't believe that I would have ever reached my full potential of who I am right now. I do think I would have just been very comfortable at the stage that I was in. I'm not even really sure if the version of who he was then would have the capacity to cover who I am now. And so, while yes, I desire marriage, while yes, I know I'm a wife, while yes, I know all of these things are going to happen for me, um, me choosing me and me being obedient to God to walk away, I know it's going to bear much fruit. And being that it was 5 years ago, I do believe that the seeds that I planted and the tears, all of the tears that I have cried these last 5 years of thinking that the Lord has forgot about me, literally have watered those seeds. And I am about to receive a harvest. I know in my heart of hearts that I am about to receive a harvest. So, if there is any woman that can take anything away from what I am sharing tonight, don't you ever not choose you. Don't you ever dumb yourself down just to say you have a man. Don't you ever put on the back burner another day of your life the purpose that God has for you. Before God even gives you a partner, he gives you purpose. Before God put Adam to sleep to give him Eve, he had given him assignments. So Eve was a compliment. She wasn't to complete him, she was to compliment him. So, ladies, and even fellas, make sure that the person that you choose is worth choosing you. So, I'm gonna tell y'all one of the hardest things that happened, and then I'm gonna go, cause y'all nephew in there skating around thinking that he ain't finna go to bed. um, I'm gonna tell y'all one of the hardest things about walking away from somebody that your children love. Oh, and Driana is on. She's an testament to how much my children love that man. Dylan to tell y'all, I really love him. Dylan was on the phone. I was on the phone the other day, and I was just talking about him, and Dylan was like, I really like that man. Y'all know Dylan is hilarious. But we broke up in January. I walked away in January. There were still some things at my house that belonged to him, and he didn't come in to get them until like around March. And I'll never forget. He came and got the stuff. He left, and my baby walked. Jeremiah's was like, how old was Jay? Jay was like 10. Jay was 10, and no, Jay had just no. He was about to turn 11. Jay walked in my room. And mind you, Jeremiah's had only ever known 3 men. So I don't want y'all to think that my baby just saw niggas coming in and out, because that ain't what we do over here. So the man who was Jacob's father, he knew Dylan's father, and he knew G. So he came in the room and he said, well, Mama, why, or why Mr. G left? And I said, well, honey, I said, me and Mr. G, we broke up. And my baby looked at me. And before I say what he said, let me take you back. One day we were driving, and because Jeremiah had did something in school, Greg, shoot, Lord, I ain't tried to say the man name, but anyway, he took him to get ice cream, whatever. He took him to get ice cream, and on the way there, he asked. He said, "Hey, when y'all get married, mind y'all, we had never talked about marriage in front of him." He said, "When y'all get married, can I call him Dad?" And G was like, he teared up, and he was like, "You can call me whatever you're comfortable with calling me." And so when he came in my room the day after he got all his things out of my apartment, he looked at me after I told him that we were no longer together, and he said, "Why doesn't anybody ever want to be my dad?" And that thing broke me to my core, y'all. That thing broke me to my core. And so I have waited, not that there weren't opportunities, not that nobody has pursued me in the last 5 years. It ain't that. But I'm never bringing somebody around my children again and I not know where it's leading to. And even though I thought I knew what that was leading to, it's just very important that I know that they're here for the long haul. So I love y'all. And that's my testimony. That is why I walked away. So yeah. So I hope I didn't take up too much of y'all time. If anybody has any questions, I'll stay on for a couple of minutes and just ask some questions since I'm ending early today. Thank you, friend. Yes, honey, be ready for the real wedding because we're gonna be in a 2T by the summer. Is y'all eating y'all sweet potatoes and ground turkey? Oh, I love you too. I I just had to be obedient. I love you. Wow. He definitely is, Kim. He definitely is. And just so anybody that's watching the replay can, like, I've never shared this publicly. Um, when we initially broke up, I just put it out there that I was single. Like, I never shared anything. Um, Nobody really saw him. I did not post him. People knew I was in a relationship, but that was another thing. Like, I really loved the privacy of that relationship. I didn't have anything to delete. There was no pictures of him on my page or nothing like that. So, people would see him on my lives, but nobody ever really saw him to know. I mean, people used to screenshot when they saw him on my lives and send the screenshots around. It was super weird, but yeah, whatever. As far as the core of like the man that he was, I cannot say anything. I cannot say anything bad about the core of who he was as a man. He just didn't have the capacity for me. Oh, I love you too. But yeah, y'all, that's it. That's all. Tonight, y'all, I'm gonna let y'all know early. Y'all, the trucker hats are actually on the site. If you go up under apparel, we have a variety of colors, y'all. So I'm just let y'all know, like, support your girl. Like, we're trying to do this obedience over offense. Now, this is a one of one, y'all. I'm sorry you can't get this one. This is a one of one. But like I said, I do have the trucker hats on the site. So y'all go over there and get y'all a trucker hat. They're embroidered. I'm trying to see if y'all can see it. They're embroidered, very nice quality. So I actually, hold on. Matter of fact, I said I was gonna do this for y'all. Just for y'all, because they're not gonna be on the site after. I mean, they go on the site. They are released to the public March 1st. So for y'all, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take $5 off of the trucker hats. So get them before. Hold on. Let me see. Get them before Sunday, because after Sunday, um I'm sorry. Yeah, my brother is texting me because he's upset with me because he didn't know that the trucker hats was. All right, y'all. So y'all gonna get $5 off, but it ends on Saturday. All right, so $5 off your trucker hat. You don't need a code. Just when you put the hat in your cart, it'll automatically take it off at purchase. Well, see, these are super super huge, Siobhan. You see how much space this is? Like, these, if you got a water head, I like it's super big. So if you got big hair. So listen, y'all. They are on sale until Saturday night, but I wanted to do something special because y'all have rocked with me. I've seen many of these names come across every episode, so I want to thank y'all for rocking with me. I want to thank y'all for believing in me, and I'm gonna go ahead and give y'all a little teaser. So next month we're gonna only have one Mirror Talks episode. It's just gonna be a filler to get us ready for April. April, the topic is going to be saved, serving, but still stuck. Again, April's April's topic is saved, serving, but still stuck. So that is going to be the series in April. I'm super excited about that, y'all. Like, it's gonna be so good. It's gonna be so good. But again, I want to thank y'all for rocking with me all of February. This was Unlearning Love, the truth about love no one prepared us for. I pray that each episode has healed something in you. I pray that each episode has brought something to the light so that you could do the work to get to a place of wholeness. And I pray that you guys go into March knowing that you are loved, you are seen, and you are valuable. I love y'all. I love y'all. It's absolutely nothing you can do about it. And I'm going to see y'all. I don't know which Thursday, but I'm going to see y'all because I'm traveling a lot in March. But I'm going to see y'all in March. And yeah, I love you. Bye.